What a great money-making weekend that was. That was a lot of fun watching the sports we love and put money in our pocket. Let's recap it and run it back this week. Hey there, what's going on, everybody? It's, of course, Jason Mattis here with Winning Bets. I'm giving you guys those free sports picks each and every single day. And we're on the Monday edition here of Winning Bets, so I want to wish you all a happy Monday and hope you guys have a good week up ahead here, and hope you guys also had a good weekend. I survived the weekend. I survived Saturday night alone with both kids. They were relatively good. Sure, there's moments where they're both crying and they're both whining and needing to be loved and comforted, but overall, Daddy survived. I got through it, and I didn't get bruised and battered too much. And then we had a good, nice Sunday going to the parks and hanging out with our friends from school. So it was a good weekend here, and I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend as well. We all had a good time watching the sports that we love and putting money up in our pocket. Let's go ahead and recap last week, and then let's dive on into new bets this week. We've got a Premier League game going on, and we also got Monday Night Football to talk about. So lots of good things going on today. Friday, we made money. But if you add in the NHL Underdogs, which of course you guys remember we're just blindly betting NHL Underdogs, the Underdogs and then the NHL took us down on the day on Friday. But if we would have just done our two normal bets where we did an ALCS same game parlay, and then we actually took both teams to score in that PSG versus Angers game, with that being at plus money, that covered the loss of the same game parlay in the baseball. But then, then you do factor in those NHL Dogs, and unfortunately we lost a little bit of money there on Friday. Saturday was the exact same story. Crush it in our normal bets per se, but then when you add in the NHL Underdogs, it ends up being a losing day. But let's talk about those wins, though, in the Premier League, because we had some fantastic wins. We got Liverpool to score in both of those halves as they actually demolished Watford, so an easy win there by Liverpool. We also took Leicester on that double chance. Painful for me to watch my Manchester United squad go down to Leicester, but I bet Leicester. I knew Leicester was at least going to get a result, at least going to get 1 point from that game, so I had no problem going ahead and backing Leicester there on that double chance. Also got Manchester City to win to 0. Told you guys that was the easiest bet of the entire weekend that I talked about on my episode of Between the Posts. They have just absolutely dominated Burnley. It's crazy how much they've actually dominated Sean Dice's side. They did so again on Saturday, beating them easily 2-0 right there. Brighton was a big trip up. That was really unfortunate going up against Norwich. Norwich, again, did not find the back of the net as they haven't really done all season long. And Brighton, they almost had a penalty claim. They almost had a couple other chances. Really unfortunate Brighton couldn't come through for us there. Then we took a couple players on the anytime goal scorer. We got Vardy to come through, a good plus 185 cash. Ronaldo, unfortunately, did not come through. And neither did Maupay, the leading number 9 there for Brighton. And then again, once you factor in the NHL Dogs, we go from winning money on Saturday to soccer to then losing money overall with our NHL Dogs. Sunday was a different story, though. We made money in every single thing we did, and I'm glad you guys were along on the ride. Let's first start off with soccer. We went 3-0, nice 3-0 sweep there in soccer. We took over 2.5, of course, in that Newcastle and Tottenham game, and that game ended with 5 goals, so that was good right there. In that same game, we took Harry Kane to be an anytime goal scorer, and he scored the 3rd goal in that match, so good goal there by Harry Kane, cashing that one as well. And then, of course, we took in the Bundesliga, we took Bayern Munich and over 1.5, and they got a nice 5-1 victory over Leverkusen. So a no-sweat win right there. So 3-0 in soccer. We carry that momentum on over in the NHL. We went 5-3 in our player props. We put in over 2 units in our pocket. Our wins were Gesicki, Javonte Williams. We took Mark Andrews. We took Ali Cox again. And then we also took Harris there on Sunday Night Football, running back there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So those were our 5 player prop wins. Our 3 losses were Lamar Jackson, Dan Arnold couldn't get it done, and Patrick Mahomes. Boy, Patrick Mahomes needed over 2.5 touchdowns. Ended the game with 2. They had too many rushing touchdowns for my liking. They got 2 rushing touchdowns. Too many. And then also too many red zone interceptions there by Mahomes. Mahomes really let us down. That was unfortunate. That one should have been an easy win. But hey, still, went 5-3 in player props, put money in our pocket. We carried that momentum over to our NFL sides where we went 3-2 and putting over a unit in our pocket. We hit our favorite money line parlay of the weekend. Remember I told you guys Rams, Cowboys, my favorite money line parlay of the weekend. Rams crushed those Giants, and Cowboys squeezed by those Patriots. Boy, I tell you, if there's one coach that screws me more than any other coach, it's Bill Belichick. He didn't screw me on this Sunday, but boy, he gives you a heart attack. If he doesn't screw you, that man's going to give you a heart attack. Don't do that, Bill Belichick. Come on, man. Don't like that right there. Remember on Friday, I also gave you guys my dog of the day in the NFL. What was that dog of the day? It was the Jaguars. Hopefully you guys read those Jaguars with me and weren't scared of the name of the Jaguars, because anytime, and I give you guys the stats, you have two teams that are basically relatively even, it's a no-brainer to go ahead and take that dog. So hopefully you guys backed me on those Jacksonville Jaguars. That was a good one. And then one of my two favorite against the spreads, Bengals. Bengals, they went ahead and just demolished the Lions, so got a nice, easy cover right there. The two losses there were the teaser. We got tripped up by the Chargers plus 9.5. They got blown out by the Ravens. I didn't watch that game. I kind of was keeping an eye on it, obviously, because our two player props of Andrews and Lamar in that game. So keeping an eye on it. Not quite sure what happened, but boy, did the Chargers just get beat. Maybe they just had gone on too good of a run. I don't know. Maybe they just went up, obviously, against another good team on the road. West Coast team coming East Coast, 1 o'clock. Maybe it was just all the factors. It was just a perfect storm for the Chargers to get blown out. Yeah, that one didn't go our way right there. And then the other one, my other favorite against the spread of the entire weekend was the Steelers, and that one did not come through. That was just really unfortunate because the Seahawks looked like dog shit in that first half. I mean, absolutely dog shit. And then they flipped the switch in the second half. Pete Carroll went over to that offensive line and chewed those fat men out because they were running night and day in that second half. It was night and day. They were just getting off big plays. It seemed like every time they wanted to hand the ball off, which is what they were doing with Collins, they were just ripping off big runs. So that was really unfortunate right there on those NFL sides. But again, we still made money, though, on those NFL sides. Went 3-2 and up over 1 unit. We also hit our only same-game parlay we put in. Talked about it on Friday. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, because at some point on Saturday or Sunday, I tweet out a same-game parlay. This one actually came from the Rams-Giants game. We took Henderson to have over his rushing total, Henderson to have a touchdown, Rams to win at halftime and full-time, and Rams to be the first one at 25 points. That was the easiest, no-sweat same-game parlay I've put together in a nice long time, and that was a nice easy win right there. We also hit our one and only against the spread parlay. We parlayed the Chiefs minus 6.5. We parlayed the Vikings minus 2.5, and we parlayed the Rams minus 8. So that was a great win, with the only one being that Vikings was the only one at minus 2.5, which was a sweat. They ended up getting the job done in overtime and getting a nice touchdown. So the Panthers didn't even see the ball. Just a nice win. Thought we were going to get screwed late in the game. Panthers had a chance there. They got a touchdown. They needed to get the 2-point conversion. Thankfully, they got that 2-point conversion to force overtime. If they missed that 2-point conversion, we obviously lose that. But yeah, then the Vikings get the ball in overtime, get a touchdown. So that was a nice plus 700 cash parlaying all three of those together. So a good one right there. We also went 2-0 in NASCAR. 2-0 in NASCAR. Felt good. Felt good to get that bell up over Keselowski. And we got Kyle Busch over Denny Hamlin right there. So nice 2-0 NASCAR. Love NASCAR. I was on watching NFL. I've also got the NASCAR right there on tablet. That was a good race there yesterday down in Texas. So, and it felt extra good to go ahead and get our nice 2-0 sweep. And then NHL. We've got our one and only dog yesterday. There was one NHL game. It was the Senators. They were the dog, and they came through and got a nice 3-2 victory. So we weren't even ruined by NHL yesterday, which those dogs have certainly been tripping us up. Everything went right yesterday. And then in this tweet, you can see the Jaguars with dog of the day. Just wanted to kind of put that out on its own, just because I think anytime you can bet on the Jaguars and make money, that's a hell of a proposition right there. So you can see yesterday right there, just whipped ass, made all the money, and made 21.96 units. That's what I'm talking about right there. Killed it. All right, so what does that do for our weekly recap? That means we went 44-37 last week and plus 17.41 units. And now it just continues the amazing 27-week stretch we're on, where we've been profitable in 20 of those weeks. And in that 27 weeks, we put 123.47 units in your pocket. And now year to date, a lot of wins, a lot of losses, and a lot of profit at 100 units, 0.98. That is what I'm talking about. It deserves another ring of the cash register. Guys, go ahead and hit that like button. Take a second and hit that like button if you were part of that cash. If you're part of all those cashes yesterday, if you were part of the cashes throughout last week, just take a second and go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know. That'll just keep me working, keep me grinding, keep me hungry to find winners for you guys. What were some of the good wins last week, and what were some of those bad losses? We went 2-2 in the anytime goal scores, and I put that in there notable W's because I went 2-2 and turned a profit. I turned a 1.08 unit profit in anytime goal scores. I tweeted out 4 plays, obviously. Those are dangerous, guys, if you want to pick and choose which of those 4. Anytime I tweet out anytime goal scores, it's in the mindset of, obviously, they're always all going to be at plus money. You're not going to go 4-0. You would obviously love to. You're more than likely not going to go 4-0, and you're relying on at least going 2-2 and pulling in some profit. Again, up in this case, went up over units. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of caution that if you see me tweet out anytime goal scores and you try and pick and choose, oh, that's a dangerous slope to try and get down. So just be careful right there. Other good win we had last week was, of course, that PSG Angers game. Did both teams have scored? Put that one in there just to remind you guys to follow me on Twitter. It's at Winning Bets Pod. It's at Winning Bets Pod. We talk about it here on the show. Sometimes you have to see lineups in soccer. Saw those lineups for that PSG, and it really just confirmed my thinking that, yeah, I think they were going to give up a goal to Angers, and they actually gave up the first goal. So once you get that nice Angers early goal, now you're just waiting for PSG to find the eventual back of the net like they always are, and you get a nice plus money cash. Like that one right there. Leicester on that double chance. That's obviously a good notable win. The reason I put that one in there, guys, if you're listening to any betting advice from anybody and they have a favorite team and they're telling you to bet the other team because their favorite team is going to go down, you know that they really put in some time. And because normally favorite teams, right? We're homers. We always think our team's going to win. Oh, Manchester United, my favorite team. They're going to mop the floor with everybody. Love Manchester United. Great team. No. That's Bet Leicester. So just give you guys a little bit of caution, or not caution, but give you guys a little bit of a heads up. If you see somebody betting against their favorite team, you got to go ahead and follow them. And that's exactly what you guys should have done right there on that Leicester double chance. Well, let's look Ali Cox. He's a noticeable W because we went 2-0. We got a cash on him on Monday night, and we got a cash on him on Sunday. So Ali Cox is now becoming one of our favorite players. So that was a good win right there. Went 2-0 on Thursday Night Football. We got that Antonio Brown, and we hit our nice teaser. So that was good right there. Of course, Jaguars money line. You're betting on the Jaguars. You're putting money in your pocket for the Jaguars. Yeah, that's a good W right there. Of course, we hit that same game parlay and that against the spread parlay right there. And then 2-0 in NASCAR. Just a good job going 2-0 in NASCAR. What were some of those bad losses? Well, NHL Underdogs. We'll get to it a little bit later on. I'll reveal the full record. But they're in this noticeable L just because overall we lost money betting NHL Underdogs. Again, I'll get you that full recap here in a little bit. Brighton, frustrating loss right there with Brighton. They really could have just, I mean, we killed it in soccer. We made money in soccer this weekend. But boy, if Brighton would have gotten that win, we would have just had a fantastic soccer weekend. But overall, still won money in soccer, so not complaining. And then Dan Arnold tripped us up. We had him go over 34.5 receiving yards. Got 27 in the first quarter, and then you get a sniff of a yard the rest of the game. Come on, Dan. Got 27 in the first quarter, can't get shit the rest of the way. Come on, dog. That's all right. Still a great week, 44 and 37, and plus 17.41 units. All right, as if we didn't win enough money up over this weekend, let's go ahead and do that free giveaway. You guys remember on Friday's episode, I remember we're going to do a free giveaway. The same game parlay I put in on Thursday Night Football went ahead and cashed. I told you guys I was going to split the profit with you. So you guys get $90. I told you I was going to get two people $45 each. So these are the people who have their names in the hat per se. You guys remember we're no longer doing names in the hat. We're doing a random number generator. Here's your name with a number assigned to it. I'm going to go ahead and do the random number generator. We'll hit this sucker twice, and we'll see who these two winners are to each get $45. Let's see it. Number 33 is first, and then we get 19. So who's 33 and 19? We get a piss in the teapot. It's 33. That's funny right there. I like that. And then 19 is Dano Lim. So Dano Lim and piss in a teapot. Why don't you go ahead and hit me up, and I'll drop each of you guys $45 via PayPal. PayPal is the only method I got. Hopefully that works for you guys. Hit me up, and I'll drop you that. And then stay tuned. We'll always do another free giveaway. You guys know I can't get out free giveaways all the time, so just come back here on another day, and we'll do another free giveaway very, very soon. All right, let's go ahead now and jump on into the action. Let's start with that Premier League game. We got a game between Arsenal and Crystal Palace. A couple of things I want to look at in this game here. Palace are 19th on away form. We've kind of talked about how between the posts there with Matt, how we've been able to do really good with Brighton at home, but Brighton on away is really, really poor. Again, they're 19th. If you looked at the standings via away fixtures, Palace would come in 19th. They've only scored 2 goals. They've conceded 8 goals and all that in 3 games, just not getting it done. Arsenal, meanwhile, on Monday night, they've won the last 7 Monday night games, and they're scoring on average of 2.14 goals in those games. Arsenal, we've talked about them between the posts. If they try out their A lineup, it's just going to be true. It's just going to be too much for Crystal Palace. You're going to try to line up with a Bungyang, Odegaard, Saka, and Smith Rowe as your attacking 4. That is certainly going to be too much at home at the Emirates for Crystal Palace to go ahead and handle. So I'm all on Arsenal, and I'm all on it backing this A lineup. I'll go ahead and take Arsenal on that money line, parlay that with over 1.5 goals, and you can get that at plus 110 over at Bet Rivers, and this will serve as my dog of the day. This will be my dog of the day. Arsenal, backing Arsenal on the money line, and over 2 goals or 2+ goals will be scored in that game. Let's go Arsenal. All right, let's go ahead now, move it to Monday Night Football. Of course, my Buffalo Bills are in action up against the Tennessee Titans. Should be a fantastic game with hopefully a nice Bills win. I already gave you guys one play last week. We're doing Bills minus 4.5. And at minus 115, again, I gave you guys that last week. Think the Bills can easily handle the Titans here. I imagine they'll probably win this game by double digits. If I had to take a guess, it'll be close. It'll be competitive just in terms of maybe they're not a blowout like you've seen, on Sunday night against the Chiefs. I mean, they really dominated the Chiefs, but the Titans, with the way they run the ball, they have an opportunity to keep this game relatively close, so to speak, on the legs of Derrick Henry. But if Derrick Henry doesn't have a good game, man, Bills will beat him by 20 or more. I mean, yeah, nothing with Tannehill scares me. I know they've obviously got some nice wide receiver weapons, but just the Bills they're a damn good team. Absolutely damn good team. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that statement. So I already gave you guys Bills minus 4.5. Let's talk about a couple player props from this game. The Titans have the 8th highest percentage of man-to-man defense ran in the NFL. So the 8th highest man-to-man defense in the NFL. They're also going to be without their top cornerback in Fulton. He's out with a hamstring injury. He's their top cornerback. And the Titans already give up the 29th in the league of yards per completion at 12.5 yards per completion. That ranks 29th in the NFL. So what are we going to go ahead and do? Let's go ahead and do Bills player props. So go ahead and take Stefon Diggs over 6.5 receptions at minus 140 over a points bet. And go ahead and take him to have over 81.5 yards at minus 113 over a FanDuel. Don't be down on Stefon Diggs. If you look at his game log, yeah, he hasn't had the greatest of all season. Remember last season, he led the NFL in receptions. He also led the NFL in yards. Well, why is he maybe not having as great of a season? Well, let's look at 3 games there for the Buffalo Bills. Blew out the Dolphins, sat most of the fourth quarter. Blew out the Texans, sat most of the fourth quarter. They blew out the Washington football team, and he sat majority of the fourth quarter in that game. So in 3 games, he hasn't even played a full game in 3 times so far this season. So that's why his stats are relatively down. What does Stefon Diggs do? He feast on man-to-man coverage. His separation is like no other wide receiver. Again, I told you guys his Titans run the 8th highest man-to-man defense in the NFL. Stefon Diggs should have him a great game. He doesn't have to worry about going up against that tight corner. So I got no problem double dipping. He hasn't hit these so far a whole hell of a lot this season, but I think this is the game. This is going to be the game right here. The Bills are going to be more pass happy, I think, up against the Titans than they were up against the Chiefs. You're going to see less running from Josh Allen. This is going to be a game where he throws the ball a lot. And I like the ball to go to Stefon Diggs. He's just too hard to cover based on the scheme that the Titans like to run, based on the injuries that they have going into this game at their cornerback position. This is going to be a game for Stefon Diggs. And Emmanuel Sanders, he's also going to have a nice game, I believe, because he's going to be able to take advantage of the Titans ranking 29th in the NFL and yards per completion at 12.5 yards, because Sanders is the big hitter on this team. So I like Sanders to go up over 54.5 yards, and you guys can get that at minus 113 over at FanDuel. All right, let's go ahead and now move it over to our same game parlay, and this is risk-free over at FanDuel. So keep that in mind if you want to go ahead and tail. For me, this is risk-free. I obviously still like the same game parlay, but it is risk-free for me. So if I lose it, it will be updated accordingly as if the bet never happened. So caution you guys on going ahead and tailing it. But hey, we cashed yesterday's same game parlay in that Rams-Giants game, and we look to cash this one. What are going to be our legs in this same game parlay? Go ahead and take Zach Moss over 43.5 receiving yards. He's just taking over the #1 role there from Singletary. He's getting the majority of the snaps, getting the majority of the carries. So like Zach Moss to go up over 43.5 yards. Like Derrick Henry to go over 98.5 yards. This one's more of a gut feel. There's nothing to suggest that Derrick Henry would actually do this. Bills have a good rush defense. They've really contained Derrick Henry really well over the years. But if they want any chance to keep this game close, I think Derrick Henry has to have 100-plus yards. I went ahead and threw that in the parlay. I like his ability to go over and get that. And then you got Bills on a double result. Double result means Bills will be winning that game at halftime, and they'll ultimately win the game at the final whistle. And you can get that at plus 789 over at FanDuel. So that'll be my risk-free same game parlay for Monday Night Football. All right, we can't let this show in without talking about those NHL Dogs. Let's go ahead and show that record right now from the first week of betting NHL Dogs. We are 14-20 and down 1.64 units. So losing record, but haven't lost all that hell of a lot of money. Talking about under 2 units. So of course I'm going right back to the well. I mean, if there was something where if I bet it and if I lost, let's say a couple of units, I was like, whoa, never going to bet that again. Well, hell, I wouldn't be betting anymore because we've all had losses. We've all had losing streaks and we've all lost money. So yeah, I'm not going to let maybe losing, call it a unit and a half, put me down on the NHL Dogs. I'm going to run it back one more week and see what I can do this week. So that being said, there's 4 games on tonight's NHL slate. We've gone ahead and back all the underdogs. You can get all these at PointsBet. The best value so far is at PointsBet. Go ahead and take that Kraken at plus 120. Take those Rangers at plus 165. Take those Ducks at plus 170. And take those Coyotes at plus 155. And again, if you're new to the show, show. There is no analysis on that. We are blindly betting NHL Dogs to see if we can turn a profit like the NBA, MLB, and NFL did earlier on the season. So that's what we're doing with those NHL Dogs. Let's go ahead and get you guys on that full recap, and then we'll get you guys on that going out of here. We're taking Arsenal on that money line, parlaying it with over 1.5 goals at plus 110 for my dog of the day. Bills minus 4.5 on that spread at minus 115. Diggs over 6.5 receptions at minus 140. Diggs over 81.5 yards at minus 113. Sanders over 54.5 yards at minus 113. Don't forget, we got that risk-free same-game parlay for Monday Night Football, and we've got our NHL Underdogs. That's how we'll start off a new week here. Guys, don't forget, hit that like button. Let me know you were part of last week's profit, and you're going to go ahead and tail me this week by hitting that like button. Otherwise, guys, go enjoy your Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. We'll talk about this Bills-Titans game, and we'll kick off a new day of bets. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks for watching till the end. I'm Jason Mattis. Any love you can show by giving me a like, a subscription, or a comment, or even just share this video is very much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to increase your chances of locking in the same odds as I talked about today, and check out my other great videos in these corners.